global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. I can tell you for free that the protest is still ongoing in most parts of Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos. Apparently, Nigerians seem not to be backing down. And Peter Obi have decided also to respond to the president's address. Not just that, he's actually profiling some other issues. In fact, the question now is, what exactly is Peter Obi saying now? Some few days back, it was the case of Kenneth Okonkwo saying that he should speak up. He did speak up and he told Nigerians, well, protest is their constitutional right. Peaceful protest is their constitutional right. Let's find out and dive in to find out exactly what Peter Obi is telling the president now that things have gone a little different from what he thought. Before going to the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Now, according to Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 elections, he said, my response to the president's address, Peter Obi, having led the call for the president to address the nation and respond to the demands of the people, and having listened to the belated speech, I needed to delay my response to see if my understanding of the address was aligning with others. I hesitated to respond immediately as I felt it could have been perceived as another attempt by Peter Obi to sway public opinion, especially since I was initially accused of sponsoring the protest. However, I must begin by thanking the president for finally addressing the people, albeit belatedly, which might have prevented the unnecessary loss of innocent lives, including those of our security agents. While I had hoped that in consoling the families of those who lost their loved ones in the protest, he would also show some empathy towards those who were injured, arrested, detained due to the overzealous and unprofessional conduct of our security operatives. This was unfortunately not the case. It is the responsibility of the government to identify criminal elements attempting to disrupt the protest through looting and other unlawful behaviors, and to protect those genuinely exercising their democratic rights. Nigeria must embrace all tenets of democracy, including the right to protest, without selective adherence. I also appreciate his condemnation of the ethnic bigotry being propagated by some individuals against other ethnic groups. However, I had hoped for more decisive action, such as the immediate arrest and prosecution of those responsible, to demonstrate that such intolerance will not be tolerated in today's Nigeria. The president's address regrettably appeared disconnected from the harsh realities faced by the people and failed to address critical issues that initially triggered the protest. It either reflects a lack of awareness among his advisors regarding the scale of hunger, and hardship in the country, or a deliberate choice to disregard it. At this point, I strongly advise the president to distance himself from sycophants and surround himself with individuals who will present the unvarnished truth. While the president's speech focused on the past, the people are concerned with the present and the future. He should begin by addressing pressing issues such as the exorbitant cost of governance, measures to tackle corruption, the high cost of living, and directing resources effectively towards critical areas like health, education, and poverty alleviation. I respectfully reiterate that the president should declare war on insecurity, the economy, poverty, unemployment, and power sector. Persistent issues of corruption and mismanagement of public funds must be addressed decisively, as is done in other nations during such times. Regular briefings, whether quarterly or biannually, from the president are essential to clearly communicate the visible and verifiable measures being taken to revive the nation from its current state of hopelessness restore hope, and rebuild trust in our country. I also humbly request that the President reduce the repetition of how dire the situation is. Every Nigeria is already aware of the extent of the problem. Mr. President, you and your team were elected not just to witness the protest, but to alleviate the sufferings of the people. Nigerians do not expect the president to solve the nation's problems overnight, but we do expect a concerted effort to address the mismanagement of public resources, reduce the high cost of governance, and tackle issues like insecurity, corruption, electricity, agriculture, and productivity to set the country on a path to recovery and growth. By doing so, the president can restore hope and rekindle the people's faith in our dear country, Nigeria. A new Nigeria is possible. This is coming from Peter Obi with a signature of PO. Of course, Nigerians have been reacting to this. The truth of the matter is, it's easier said than done. A lot has been put in. Well, it was more a case of a miloko, and nobody knows. It's a case of some typical example of a new couple, fiance and fiancé trying to plan for their marriage, plans to do a lot of elaborate wedding, and they didn't really go into thoughts of marriage proper, and they finish spending all the money for the wedding, and the marriage proper comes, it becomes hardship because hey, they were thinking of what people will say about their wares, their clothes. They never thought about okay where they will live and how they intend to plan to live their life forever after. But that's, if you ask me, that's exactly what is going on right now. Nobody expected this whole thing, but I guess they should have planned it at the beginning. That's where the manifested thing comes. But Nigerians have been reacting. Let's feel the pulse of Nigerians very quickly. This one here says, go and listen to UK PM speech and compare to Tinubu if truly you are a sincere person. What's he trying to say? I wouldn't know. And the person here says, thank you, Mr. Peter B, for not keeping quiet. And the person here says, you have spoken the minds of not just obedient, but well-meaning Nigerians. Okay? And the person here says, well, in my opinion, that delivery wasn't an address to the nation. It was just a quick compilation of words, and it leaked hours before delivery by incompetent whoever it is that was in charge, just an attempt to save face. And the person here says, Bola Tinubu's address regrettably appeared disconnected from the harsh reality faced by people and failed to address critical issues that initially triggered the protest. Facts. Some people are calling Peter Obi that he's doing just fine in addressing this matter. Another person says, Baba is feeling himself. He said he led the call for the president to address the nation. The president understands the politics of the protest, and I'm not sure he is not ready to play that now. He's more interested in governance now than ever before. Okay, but you've heard what Peter B is saying. Is it a nay for you or is it a yay for you? Let's go the way of Senate President that will say, hey, is it the ayes and the nays? And in a few minutes or few seconds,
Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze,